All right, today we're diving into something, well, something truly unique. We are going to try and map a massive, incredibly complex body of work from a single author, Marcos Magalhaes Duarte, or MMD. We're about to explore a universe built entirely out of language, a world with its own rules, its own heroes, and its own wars. So, where do we even begin? Let's start with a puzzle, a little piece of symbolic logic that the author gives us himself. Honestly, it's the perfect way to get a feel for how this universe works. The question is, how does he find one of the world's most famous superheroes hidden inside his own name?
Okay, so what MMD does here is pretty wild. He sets up this kind of textural game. He starts with his own name, Margos, and this key phrase, incrível peneia, which can mean incredible feather or, incredible pain. And then as you can see, he gives these instructions to take certain letters, perform a calculation on the word pena, and you'll end up with the English word man. It's this linguistic puzzle that gives us our first real glimpse into his unique way of thinking.
And boom, this is where it leads. Through a calculation he just calls doing so in the name incredible pena, he gets Superman. Now, are the exact steps a little cryptic? Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's his style. But what's crystal clear is the intent. He's showing us that inside his own name, inside his language, he can tap into the symbolic power of a superhero. This is our first major clue.
And you might think, okay, cool party trick, but no. This isn't a one-off. It is a whole system. He uses that exact same phrase, incrível parna, to pull out a whole squad of heroes. For Spider-Man, it's about using your imagination. For Captain America, you have to think about an army rank, then a country. For the Hulk, he's pulling out specific letters and sounds. It's this complex, deeply personal, but consistent logic that he's working with.
So, you gotta ask yourself, what kind of world have we just stepped into? It's dense, it's totally self-referential, and it plays by its own rules. To even begin to navigate this, we're gonna need a guide, right? We need a key to help us unlock the code. And you know what? We're in luck. We actually have one. We have a formal editorial review of MMD's work from his publisher. And this review is going to be our lens, our framework for trying to make sense of this incredible creation. Right off the bat, the review tells us, hey, slow down. You have to think differently here. It frames MMD's work not as a regular book, but as a singular textual artifact. It's a place where art, philosophy, protest, and just pure linguistic performance all get tangled up together. It's a total hybrid. All right, so how is this universe even built? To get that, we need to take a look at its architecture. The architecture of the chaos. The review calls the structure a textual collage. So what does that mean? Well, forget a normal story with a beginning, middle, and end. Think of it more like a database or a stream of consciousness just poured onto the page. It's intentionally broken up, fragmented. It forces you to read it in a new way, to find the connections yourself instead of following a straight path. And you can really feel that stream of consciousness right here. I mean, look at this. The text is packed with these cascading lists of verbs: calculating, invading, entering, seeing. It creates this constant rhythmic pulse. It gives you a sense of the nonstop mental engine that's driving this whole world. Okay, so at the very heart of this universe, there is a massive central conflict. It's a war between an original, pure image and all the enemies out there who want to steal it, corrupt it, and copy it. This slide really breaks it down for us. You've got the two sides in this war. On one side, you have the image. MMD calls it a high standard, a pure and advanced language that's all his. On the other side, you've got the forces of the copy. They're driven by jealousy, they want to steal the code, they want to do a scraping of his language, they even want to do physical harm. So, who exactly are these enemies? Who are the guilty ones? Well, the author gives us a list, and just look at it. The scope is breathtaking. We are not talking about a few rivals here. We're talking the population, society, NASA, any other company, the internet, even God. This isn't just a conflict. It's the vision of a lone creator completely besieged by, well, literally everyone and everything. So, if you're living in a universe where everyone is out to get you, how do you survive? How do you operate? Well, MMD provides an answer. He gives us a user manual for reality itself. He lays out exactly 70 formulas. 70. And don't think of these as just helpful hints. Think of them like lines of code for a brand new operating system, a complete system for thinking, for being, and for fighting back in his reality. And these formulas are just wild. They're this blend of metaphysical commands like imagine until the thought enters the image, mixed with almost computational instructions. Connect the thought, be born at the speed of light, and then it gets into straight-up superhuman abilities like telepathy and teletransportation. This is basically a handbook for reprogramming reality. And this brings us right back to what that critical review was saying, right? It totally nails it. It concludes that the author is building an alternative system of knowledge that mixes science, spirituality, and programming. It's a philosophy, a spiritual practice, and a computer program all rolled into one. Okay, so let's put all the pieces on the table. We have the symbolic language, the collage structure, the massive central war, and the 70 formulas on how to exist. What do we have when we put it all together? We have a complete, self-contained universe. And that review lands on this really powerful conclusion. It says the whole work can be seen as a cartography of a mind, a map of a consciousness that believes it's protecting something sacred and original. The entire act of creation becomes a powerful testimony to creative potency as a form of resistance against a world that it sees as hostile and corrupting. In the end, what MMD's work really is this profound, incredible look at the power of language to literally build a world. It's a testament to the human ability to create an entire reality with its own physics, its own logic, as a kind of fortress against the outside world. And that just leaves us with this one final, fascinating question to chew on. What happens when one single creative mind becomes its own universe?